doing, folks? Well, we're back again. I had a go at sanding these pieces today, and didn't go well. I didn't have a thick enough coat of lacquer on it, so I went through in a couple of places and the white started showing up and it just wasn't working the way I wanted it to, so I've had to go and give these another coat of colour. And I think I'm probably just going to leave it and not put lacquer on the top and leave it satin black. Or not satin, matte black. Done this here one as well. White started to show up in it too in places. And I'm just going to try and leave the matte black coating on it now and live with it. And it's a pity because I really wanted it to look shiny as anything, but it's just not going to work out for me. I need to be able to get the right paint and I just can't get it here. Oh well, but that leaves me that I can start the build now and start building the engine. So I think while these are drying, that's what I'm probably going to start doing. Okay, so I got my new piece in the post today for the clutch and it's just so much better. So happy days, really is just so much better. So that'll be going in. I'm going to start trying to build this now. There's a little bit of overspray in the casings from the paint, but it's well stuck there. It's not coming off or anything like that, so it's going to be alright. So I think I'm going to start with trying to fit the kickstart maybe first. You'll see I have it sitting on 2 blocks of wood here. Hopefully they're high enough to get me away with this and allow the stuff to stick down, but we'll see. I think I'm doing pretty good with the first bit. Got all my gears back in. I'm not sure if I'm meant to have a thrust washer here and here, but we'll see if there's any in the box. I think I'm probably in neutral. It's a bit dirty that, so should have cleaned it up more, but it's okay. Crank in. Working good. That's oil, by the way, that's not dirt or rust that you see there. So, kickstart in, looking pretty good. And everything's looking pretty much as it should, pretty sure. So, onwards and upwards. So, after a bit of fettling and messing, I managed to get the other casing back on top and the new gasket in, and I bought these brand spanking new stainless steel bolts for it. So I'm putting them in now, figuring out where everything goes, and I'm going to tighten it down now. And when I get that done, I'll turn it round and we'll start putting in the oil pump and stuff like that. So there you go. I turned the engine up. I got this little cog for the side the clutch in. I'm going to get the new seals for this pump. I'm going to put them in. I have got a new gasket for the centrifugal oil filter. Don't know if it's going to work properly because of that, but I'm going to give it a shot. Don't see any reason why it shouldn't. And then I'll start trying to get some of this stuff on and see how far we get. I don't have oil. I have to go and get oil to soak these plates in for the clutch. So that'll be a job I have to do now in a little while. I did get my shifter star on and it's in the neutral position right now. And I'm just going to get on with it. So I had most of the engine together. I didn't get my oil for the clutch yet to steep the plates, but I realised that I had 2 pieces left here. You can see this little washer with the special sort of shape in the middle of it, and this spring, and they fit neither of anything on the outside of this. I know that looks bad, but that's overspray and it is stuck to the inside. It's not coming off and going into the oil or anything, so it's going to be alright. But I'm very worried now that I'm going to have to reopen this engine and find out where these things go, and hopefully they're not inside the engine. If they are, just have to open it up again. I guess you just live and you learn, don't you? Oh well, I'll let you know what happens whenever I look everything up here. Well, after doing a little bit of research, I found out that, well, number one, this for some mysterious reason is a spare spring. I don't know if Darren replaced one or whatever, but this is a spare one. It may have came with some of the extra bits that I got, the gears or something, when I got the bike, or the spare parts. Unfortunately, this belongs on the back of the gear shaft that's just here, which means that all of my hard work putting this together this evening now has to be reversed, and I'm going to have to open this again just to get that in. But that's kind of a good thing, because I was kind of regretting not setting the phone up somewhere when I was doing this. I know that there's a lot of you guys there that's watching this that like to see how the whole thing goes together and that, so this will be another chance for me to film that for yous, and I probably will do that. And it's just like starting from scratch again, so it's not a big deal. It's part of the learning process, I guess. But I mean, after this I could probably nearly put one of these engines together with my eyes closed. But that's the story. I'm just gonna move this engine a little bit so I can show you this, where that spring actually goes. Yep, so the place where that spring goes is just down in there, in behind this. Now this is one piece I never took off the bike when I opened up the casing. It's not been off, so it needs a cleaning. All this needs cleaning here, which it will get. That's it for now. Yeah, actually I may, when I have this casing opened again, I may clean it up a little bit, because there does seem to be a little bit of overspray there, and most of it's stuck to the casing, but not all of it, so I need to get a rag in there and start cleaning that all out of that, just to make sure. Okay, so situation now. I got the casing off, had to pull the whole engine apart again to do that, but I did not have to take out the gears, because I forgot that that little washer there belongs up on this side of the engine, so I didn't have to take the gears out totally. But for any of you that are building one, you'll know that they just slot into place there like that. I don't know why those pieces look so dirty and rusty on the video, because they're not. They're actually quite clean. So, no idea why that'd be. But believe me, if you were standing here, it doesn't look like that. I can't even get this washer off now to show you. Yeah. That, with the special center to it, goes here on the top of this one. There, I had to open the whole engine just for that. And yes, I checked the other parts that I had bought, and they were missing the spring. So I know now that that spring doesn't belong. It didn't belong in this box here, so I'm not missing any parts or anything. So I think the next thing to do is to try and put our forks back in. Selector forks, and try and turn this kickstart back again, get the bolt into it, and then we're ready to put the casing back on again. But I might just give it a quick rub in here too, in case there's any loose stuff. I know it looks bad, but believe me, that is well stuck to the case. It's not coming loose. So give me a second and I'll do that, and then we'll go and start trying to put stuff together here. Well, I haven't got a good enough tripod to give you a proper vantage point in the shed, so I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Whenever I get a little bit put in, I'll do another clip here to show you my progress so far, and then so on. So it's the only way I can show you guys, because I don't have the vantage point at the minute to get up here where I am and work with my two hands. So hope you appreciate that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is that this is the selector drum, and you'll see those brass bits are for telling you that you're neutral gear. Now there's 3 selector forks that go into these grooves. See here, 1, there's another one down here, 2, there's another one across here somewhere, 3. That's quite dirty looking on the video. I don't know why that is, but it's definitely not, believe me. And there's a little bit of wire I need to get out of that. Those little wire wheels are a disaster. Bits of wire laying all over the place in the shed, and it just gets stuck to everything. Anyway, so the thing I'm going to show you about these selector forks. Right, you have a middle one, you have one on the left, and you have one on the right. Now, in order to distinguish which is which, you'll see on the back side of this, if you look extremely close, you'll see an L. That stands for left. So that'll be on the left of the bike, which means that this is at the bottom here somewhere. Then you've got, if you look at this one, C, center. And on the last one, you've got R for right. So you would put them in sequence. So left. This is the left casing would be the one that we're going to be putting on top of this. So you would slide it in there. Sorry, in there. Then you would get the center one, which goes on the smaller gearing system here. That's C, center. See the way the holes are lining up here? Then you have this one, which is the right hand side casing, which goes on the bottom of this one. So get that in there. Yep. So I have those 3 in. Now you have a little bar that goes down through all of these and into a little hole on the bottom there. I don't know if you can see it. Little hole on the bottom there. But I have forgotten to spring back my kickstart and put the bolt in. So I'm going to do that now. And then I'll get back to you. So that's better. I got my kickstart back into position and my bolt put into the hole where it belongs. So that's good. Next, we have to try and find neutral on the selector drum, which is somewhere around where these holes are. I'm not quite sure where, but I think it's around this end where the 2 bigger holes are. So that actually looks quite dirty there. I might just give that a little bit of a rub before I put it on. Yeah, so gave it a wee rub there, and we're back. I'm going to try and slide these up and get it into place. So you just have to fiddle about with it until you get these forks into the right place. I find the good place to start is at the bottom, and you just try and slide them up or down, whichever you need to do to get them to go. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand here. It's not a type of job you can do with one hand, really. So the first one, you'll see I've got it kind of into that groove there, and that's where I need it to be. The second one, I need to try and get it into a groove, which seems to be... You just have to fiddle about till you get it, because I have to try and put the selector drum down into the hole. Anyway, that's what you do. You fiddle about till you get them in. But it's just trying my patience here a little bit. Right, I got one in there. This one will be in the right place, and this one is nearly in the right place, and it dropped down. Do you see that? It just dropped down into place. So there you go. They're all in the position that we want them in. So the next thing we have to do now is get the bar, wherever it is. There it is. And you'll see straight down there, you put this bar straight through, straight down into it. Wow. I have to jigger it a bit. Move things around a little bit till you get it in position. And we're nearly there. We're not there yet. Yeah. We're there. Have that in position. So now we're ready to put on the casing. Well guys, I battled away with it for a good while tonight. And I ran into a problem. It fits together dead on. The gasket fits it pretty good. But whenever you tighten in the screws, the gears just don't want to move. They're just really, really tight. And after a while, maybe putting it together about 4 times, I figured out that this gasket, in my opinion, is probably too thin. And this is what's causing the issue. So, back to the drawing board, I guess. And it's probably going to take another couple of weeks now, because I'm going to have to go and find the right gaskets and then have them posted and everything else. And it's annoyed me. It's annoyed me a lot. But what can you do? Has to be done. And these are the problems you run into. Okay guys, signing off for the night. So after careful consideration, when I was thinking about it the other night, I realised that the gears were moving properly when I hadn't put that thrust washer into the back. And these are not the right gears for this bike, remember. These are out of an XL125S, not a cb125 RS. And these are a 6-speed box, not a 5. So it's either coming down to the shaft being too long compared to the original, or the thrust washer, not the thrust washer, sorry, the gasket is too thin. Them cheap ones can be too thin sometimes. But I looked on the CMSNL website, and you can see the picture of the gears here that I'm showing you. And you'll see on the left hand side that there's no thrust washer in there in that gear section in the drawing. Now, in videos I've watched on YouTube of other people doing it, there has been washers in that position. So I've come to the conclusion that I'm not sure whether it should have one or not, but I do have one there. And if I do, it may be causing a problem, because it's adding a little bit of thickness to the end of the shaft, and the casings are closing in on it really tight and stopping the gears from moving. So I've got a bit of research to do over in the next couple of weeks to find out what the story is there, or whether it's me that's went wrong, or the CMSNL are wrong, or if the gasket's too thin. It could be a number of things. But I've ordered a new gasket set anyway, which was not cheap. And I'm hoping that's going to solve the problem, and that'll be the end of it. But time will tell. We'll see.